Hello and welcome. We are playing some vintage today. Oath. First things first, shout out and a big thank you to our sponsor 341 Trading. Especially if you love vintage, have a look at their store and all the cards they sell. They have like all the beauties we all love, like the old border stuff. Let's put it that way. We are playing Oath today. A pretty standard list. I only run 3 show and tell because I think Oath is quite popular these days, and in the mirror it's not like a great card. I did choose to run the Merchant Scroll Dig Through Time package. Most decks don't run it at the moment, but I do like to play a slightly more controlling game plan with 2 Force of Negation and 1 Force of Vigor in the main. And for the sideboard, pretty classic, like our bad matchup or our bad matchups still are the combo decks. We do have Null Rods against Jewel Shop. Not so much against any other shop decks, but if there's still some people around playing the good old Time Vault Key combo, you can also put it in your deck against those. Then there's like the anti-Bazaar package. Bazaar decks are not that prominent at the moment, but you'll face them from time to time. And then there's like Force of Vigor, and to some extent Boseiju Abrupt Decay against like the shops deck. But like Boseiju also works against Bazaar and Abrupt Decay. I also like to just sideboard it against decks which have like Grafdigger's Cage or the Priest, the white one. It's pretty good against like many hate cards, and also doubles down against the mirror, where it's just good against Oko. Boseiju also great in the mirror, by the way. Deals with like most relevant cards. Okay, the tournament has started. Round 1, we play against just a B, and I have no idea what we're playing against. We have a turn 2 Tinker, and that's about it. That's a turn 1 Tinker, actually. Never mind, we're on the play. Yeah. Like, the main question is, does our opponent have force? They don't. They probably just win, so it is a keep, but one that could easily fizzle. Right. Let's hope and see. Our opponent didn't reveal a Lurrus, so that means actually could be a force on top. I don't mind that, because them not revealing Lurrus could mean they're running a combo deck as well. Could also be shops. We're not gonna counter that. Could be shops, but they don't run probe. It could be jewel shops. It is Oath. They play Crypt, and it just looks like they might just ramp into an Oath or a show and tell or something. So I think I'm gonna try and... Like, I could also negation their Oath or their show and tell. But I actually just feel better countering the Crypt here. Okay, they do have a Mox, so it could be an Oath that we're facing here. It's a DT. I guess a DT isn't the end of it all, except for if they really have show and tell. They could go get a Lotus and play show and tell. But they need the Traxa for that. I mean, if we get to untap here, that's actually just perfect. I do think I like the Force of Will on top, so I'm not gonna shuffle it away. Just gonna attack and still have fetch activation up with Bolas Citadel. It could be a Boseiju, that would actually be quite bad. But I don't think it is. It is an Oath, probably. Or an Oko. Oko could also work. Oh, we have an Oko of our own. So let's just draw that. Let's play that land. Flusterstorm's great on top. We could just transform the Lotus, attack for 5. The next turn we could attack for 8. Like, what's the sequence where we lose? If they have an Oath, they're probably too slow, and I don't think they have one. We could lose against Show and Tell, but Flusterstorm's pretty good there. I don't think we need the extra mana from Lotus. Like, the other thing is we could turn Emerald. We could turn Emerald into a creature. I think it's probably fine if we just try to attack. Deal as much damage as possible. Like, Bolas Citadel also threatens to kill them at some point with the deal 10. Especially with Oko producing permanents as well. One more permanent. Like, we're actually really close. Thunder is fine. I think there's just Show and Tell that I really want to counter here. Yeah, nothing we can do about Oath. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if we hit something off Citadel, we will just be able to kill them. That's not the card I want to see here. So let's fetch. Oath is fine. It is a permanent that we can sack. Well, Ancestral obviously is fine as well. Drawing into more permanents. And more. Yeah, it's a nice kill. Like, actually, we could even just kill the Oath here. But yeah, let's just deal 9 and then 10. Play that Crypt. Play that Oath. And then sack those permanents. Okay, there we go. Like, the Citadel was very slow there, but good enough. So I want to cut show and tells and oaths. I'm not sure how many. Like, I love to keep some oaths. Maybe even a show and tell, because you can tutor for it and still pitch it. And like, if you have the Forbidden Orchard advantage, like, oath is actually still a fine card. That being said, like, Abrupt Decay is probably the best card post board. We don't need Force of Vigor. We don't need Sphinx. We do want the Boseiju. It's also excellent. And then what else? Like, we could also cut like an Atraxa, but I don't really like that. I think we're just gonna put it back in. We could also cut the third show and tell. Still, I do like to keep one. Other than that, there's no cards you want to cut. So of these cards, like, Atraxa is great because it pitches to those spells. Mindbreak Trap is probably just fine. Not great, but fine, especially on the draw. I could see one show and tell being fine just as a tutor target, which you can also pitch. And then probably another oath is fine. Yeah, maybe a force on over the third. Let's see. Maybe like this. Like this you can also regulate their oaths. Or their Citadel maybe if they go off. Yeah, this looks fine. This is actually closer than it looks, but only because they run a Wasteland variant of the deck. Let's see. Drawing a fetchland here would be premium. Ancestral, I think we have to counter that using Trap. Ooh, Flash is decent. Now let's just hope they don't have a Wasteland or Strip Mine. Let's just hope they have an Oath, which we could counter here. They do have Wasteland. That sucks. Let's draw into a Lotus here. That would probably be my best draw. Yes, Ruby's, well, it's better than a non-land, but like if they have Oath, that they would have played Oath if they had one. Okay. Doesn't do a whole lot. Our opponent apparently doesn't have an oath. They have all the wastelands. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Like, this is the problem with the Orchard draws. Sometimes you just don't want to give your opponent creatures. I still don't really feel safe here, but if we find a blue source, I think we're actually just fine. A blue source or a counter spell. Let's see. Also wouldn't mind them playing a show and tell, even though that would probably be bad for us. This probably doesn't do a lot. Like, it gives them Oko though. Oko could be a problem. Like, if they play Oko, we just get another spirit, so... They probably have some counter magic in their hand. Counter magic, maybe an Atraxa. Maybe an Oko. What's the worst card in here? Is it Dig? Yeah, I'm just so far away from casting a Dig. Like, if they have Oko, they absolutely need to cast it as soon as possible. Green. Is it? Yeah. This is Oko. Create a food. Well... These have not been lucky draws here. I think the Spell Pierce can go at this point. Yeah, exactly. Right on time. We still have some time against Oko, but... Oh, come on. Like... Yeah. Yeah, I guess I really need that blue source now. The blue source and them not having counter magic, which is not very likely. Woo, 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 woo. We need 2 hits. A Lotus here. A Lotus and good stuff, and them not having counter magic. Otherwise, we're not winning here. I have another force. Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. Like, I don't think there's a way out if they... The only way is probably their 3 remaining Atraxas are like the bottom 3 cards of their deck. Which is not the case here. They still have Show and Tell in their deck. Which is interesting. But yeah, in this matchup you usually don't have that many cards to board, so you might as well just keep some. Yeah. Yeah, that's a sad not getting there, but like we're ahead 1 game, so hopefully we will just win the last one. Like they should just turn the ruby into a creature. But it's... yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Like what I haven't even seen if they have a counter spell. Like... like if they don't, we can get our own Atraxa here. We give them all the life, that's not perfect. And if they have the counter here, we're just dead. Also, like, they have 2 Orchards. They can just give us 2 spirits. Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah. I don't know if that will work, Valuel, but it's a good plan. So they are running Wastelands. This means that we're probably not very often going to win the Oath. Like the Oath duel. So I think it's probably safer to have another Force of Vigor for their Oath, because that's also a way to win if they give us tokens and we just get rid of their Oath. Show and Tell, maybe just 1. Just because we can also patch it up with the tutors and pitch it to counter magic. Yeah. Kinda like that. You like Sphinx against them? Oh no, I don't. Like, they have Boseiju even. It's fine because you can pitch it, but that's about it. I don't know about this hand. I mean, it has a plan. It might not be good enough. But it is a plan. It also has mana. So what we're gonna do is just play the Oath and see if they counter here. Like, they haven't seen our Orchard. So they might just let it go. which they do. Now they really need their own oath, because otherwise, even if they have Wasteland, we'll just give them a token and go off. Yeah. Like, the problem with Sphinx is also, in a situation like this, if you hit Sphinx, you probably just die. Okay. They have Wasteland. Perfect. I don't have... Yeah. They don't even have green mana for Oko. Like, playing Oko, turning our stuff into creatures would also be good at this point. Okay, I guess that works as well. It was a 2-for-1 though. Okay. We could... There's different things we could here. I think playing Tropical... I don't know. Playing Tropical is good if we find another land and they don't have another Wasteland. It's bad if they have another Wasteland and we draw like Oko or something we could play with the blue mana. I think it's probably safe to keep it until... Yeah, until we find another blue source. This might delay the Force of Will for a turn, but yeah. Okay. Force. Okay. Nothing we can do about that, I guess. Force. A force and a force and a decay. Ponder is a good card here. But it's not even restricted. How good can it be? But yeah, in this matchup, having Ponders is like a big advantage. They shuffle. That's good for us. Underground Sea. That's fine because now we can hardcast our force. This could become a very, very slow and long game. Another Oko. I think we should wait until we get another... Another blue card here to force back. Now they can hard cast force as well. 3-6. We're close. We're close on hard casting Atraxa. So again, this is not a spot I want to run Oko because I don't want to pitch Atraxa at this point. Classic standoff here, huh? Nobody moves. Nobody moves. I also just think we're not in a spot to just run Atraxa out here. Yeah. I do think this is what we're gonna do end of turn, trying to kill their Moxen. I mean, it's a 2-for-1. You're fine with 2-for-1s. Flash. Hmm. Phew. Flash is pretty decent here. Mm. Yeah, I think we have to let that go. I don't think we can remove Okora Traxa. They will draw some cards, they will discard some of them to hand size. Wow, it was just a bait then. But a very nice one. Very well played from our opponent here, but wow, just imagine if I had spent like pretty much all my resources to counter the flash there. Okay, so now we can hard cast our force. The thing is, it's mana crypt. Yeah, still. I don't have to tap this. Let's do it like this. Mm. They exiled Spell Pierce. I just have another piece of counter magic here. Trap. Yep. So be be it. I still think the trade was good for us, since next turn we can just slam a Traxa and try to get rid of our Oath. Hey there, thanks for the follow. Good to have you around. Yeah, and if a Traxa does not stick, we do have a problem because of Crypt at some point. Hey there, kitty lover. Thanks for the follow as well. I think we're gonna... I wonder if I should play the Tropical now, and also if I should fetch before casting a Traxa. I don't think I do. Like, I could also find... I could also just find the Orchard with a Traxa if she sticks, and then I don't have to kill my Oath. Yeah, that's probably it. And if she sticks, I think... Yeah, let's try. Let's just hope they don't have another Mindbreak Trap or Force of Will. They have another Force. Fortunately. But do they have another blue card? They have Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Interesting. Well, Sphinx doesn't work that well with Flesh, I guess. Okay, so now we have a Crypt. They don't have as many resources as we do, but we have a Crypt. Just win the flips. Yeah, thanks for the good advice. I'll try to remember. Ponder. Okay. Yeah, let's see if that tutor works. I'll probably just get another Atraxa. They shuffle their library. That's good for me. I don't know about tutoring for Orchard. They are running Blessing. I feel like tutoring for Atraxa is just better. Also because of, like, Force of Negation. Nah, Force doesn't matter. Tough to say. They might just have an answer to Oath. Like, I do think if Atraxa sticks, I just win that game. Misstep and probably something else, huh? Okay. Okay, we just win the flips, that's fine. Not a fetch land, this doesn't do a whole lot. Well, it still just gets the island we have left. But yeah, maybe I just wanna fetch next turn to thin out our deck. Like, this could be interesting here, because we now can just attack Oko. And kill our Oath. It completely depends on what we draw here. Force. I feel like this could be the play here. Could also kill our Mox Chat, but I don't think, like, it's gonna do anything good for us, so... Like, we need some help to deal with Oko, but like a Time Walk does it, or... It's just a whole lot of cards that could work here. Another Ponder. I feel like I just want to counter that. I also should... Ooh, that's bad. I also need to keep the timer in mind. Also, besides, they should have turned our Pearl into an Elk, because this keeps us off hard casting Atraxa. That's problematic. Yeah, now we're probably just done. Yeah, I don't see us ever winning against an Atraxa at this point. I think this is quite unfortunate. Like, I do think their version is better than mine in the mirror because of the ponders, but they also have Portal to Phyrexia. This one makes sense against... Yeah, this could work. They have Mox Emerald, DT, Fluster, yeah. I think... Like, they don't have an actual Force of Will. So I could just land my own Atraxa here. So just need to get that basic out. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do the GG. It's just very rude behavior to do so. Okay, you have it. You have it, my dear friends. Yeah, was there something I could have done differently? Somehow I don't think I do. Hmm. Losing round 1. Playing against Lurrus, but I don't think we can keep a hand like this. Like Oath and Flash are good cards, but not without blue mana. This is much better. I think we'll just keep, and now here's the tricky part. Like putting back Atraxa is a plan, but if they lead with Wasteland, or if they have a Wasteland, like we're not gonna Tinker turn 3. Yeah, it's still, I guess it still has to be the Atraxa here. Caracas. What do I usually vamp for? It completely depends on the context, I think. Like in some matchups you just vamp for Oath. So Oath just wins. There are spots where you just have to try and grab Tinker. Sometimes you just go for Ancestral. And here it depends on what my opponent's doing. I might just get a Force of Will to try and force through Tinker. Just don't know yet. Hard to tell. I think Tinker is just our plan A here. I think I'll let that resolve. They don't have blue mana, and I don't think they are very likely to have double force, so I think I'm just gonna vamp for a force here. And try to resolve Tinker. Like if we don't need it, no problem. I think I'm gonna play the strip mine first, just because I want that on the battlefield more than I need the green mana now. Let's see. They have a counter, but so do we. Fluster is fine. I'm just somewhat scared of Time Vault. Like, this deck can just kill you out of nowhere. Yeah. This is exactly what I mean. Yeah, I do run one Spell Pierce, one Fluster, but like if we can play that Fluster at some point, we might also, I don't know, there's actually anything that deals with the combo at instant speed. We do have a Force of Vigor in our deck though. Like, this could work. I don't know. Let's just hope they play something that we can actually fluster. Not Lurrus. It kinda sucks to just lose to my deck. Like, Vault Key is a deck that's near and dear to my heart. Like, I tinkered around with it for like over a year now, and I think made up a real good list in the end, so I don't think it's very good in this meta, but it's still a very powerful deck, as you can see. I guess we're just dead here. Yeah, our Citadel hits have not been great today. Yeah, there was several cards we could have found. Like, Tinker Citadel isn't just a great card in this deck, I don't think. Um, I think I want those. Probably also the Boseiju. I feel like I can cut the basic island. I don't know how many Force of Vigors I want, but I do want to cut the top tutor. I think we can also cut the Force of Negations. Probably also the Spell Pierce. Hmm. Hmm. This is going to be slow and grindy. Like, they're able to just produce a huge amount of mana, so it might just be Fluster that we're cutting. Maybe also the Crypts. Not sure about that though, but this kinda looks decent. I'm not bringing Null Rods against Lurrus, no, but they are like a time vault deck, I think. They run more than just those artifacts we've seen. No, I don't think it's that version. Well, not a mulligan here. This is better. I think we don't need force here in this hand. They probably run like if it's the deck that I think it is, they just run Oswald as well, Lurrus, Lavinia, and like quite a few artifacts more than the usual list has. This is the deck I essentially built, if it's the deck I think it is. Well, that's decent. They didn't grab Lurrus here, so I think they might have some kind of counter magic. So I think I'm just gonna play it slow. You are not a card for that matchup. Yeah, it's good against the Traxa triggers, but don't do this, I think. Yeah, you see, it's a Mox Opal deck, so... Doorkeeper Thrall. Okay. Famous last words. This one is just... it's just gonna attack me 20 times and I'm dead. Yeah, like this is no containment priest. This actually just enables Oath. That's what it does, I think. Misstep. Okay. Let's draw first. Like, that's a good plan B. Like, yes, obviously it does not trigger, but it's a 7/7 flying. Pio? Ugh. That's something. They have to counter as well. Come on! Why am I not winning today? Not a single game. Maybe I should have just jammed that Norod. I don't know. Yeah, like... this is what happens now. Like, it's not over yet. They have 2 cards and one of them is the stupid Thrall. Yes. I think it's just show and tell and trying to kill them as fast as possible. Like, we basically just need to raise them finding Vault. They can easily brick here. They could also just have Troll Engine. They could just block every turn, replay it, but then I'll get all the life. Not if they don't block. Oh, hey there. Mistaken, thanks for the follow. Draw 3? Sure. We still have some life draws here. Needle, okay. We can just still just draw another null rod. And that would be pretty much game. Green card would also just be a good start. Doesn't do much. Yeah, like their draw just was just good enough to compete with mine again, I guess. It's a good part 1. Yeah, of course. Recall not bad, their draw just being better. If we find abrupt decay, we might just win. Uh-oh. That's bad. Yeah, that's it. That's it, well played. Ah. against the Dominguez. At least not a Javier, but I guess this is a keep. Against shops. This kind of shops, huh? Yeah, let's see if this resolves and we get lucky. If it does not resolve, we're just dead. I hate vintage today. Like, our draws are not bad, but like those of my opponents are just, well, vintage. It is what it is. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're done here. No worries. And the late force of will. You are not welcome here, force of will. Not anymore. Like, those are the cards I really want. I'm not even sure about force of will. I think show and tell is probably just better against them than oath. Like, oath is also fine. On the play at least, but I think I can trim some of them. Maybe we just need Fluster as well. Tinker is great. I don't think we need force of vigor. Pop's probably just too slow. They don't have lots of stuff to misstep. You have like 4 or 5 cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna run one mid-step. Like, Oko isn't great against them. Chantel isn't great against them either. It's just another Boseiju. Or a Force. Sometimes Force is quite good against them if they have like the Saga draws. Sometimes it's just like the worst card. Yeah, let's try it like this. See if we can make it work. I think this is a keep. Vampiric makes this hand kinda good. Well, Citadel is still good enough. Like, top is just a randomly good card in your deck. But it's just too slow on its own sometimes. And key, sure. So I think I'm going for flash here, right? Here. So I'll just pass the turn in their upkeep, play flash. Maybe find Force of Vigor. That would be awesome. Sometimes Vintage is just the best format. that you could imagine, and sometimes it's just the worst. So, like, creature enchantments. Artifacts. Lands probably just Boseiju. And the instant is probably just a force. Yeah, that was a fine flash. We could finally win a game today. Wouldn't that be sweet? Another saga. Okay, at this point I'll just counter anything that produces mana. I'm gonna keep Atraxa for the moment. Strip mine is decent. Don't want them to get like a soul ring. Something. I usually just play one island, so I could just go for the saga afterwards, but I do think I have to counter thing here. Like with key, it's just way too good. Okay, that works. We could just kill the saga and start attacking them. We could also play our oath and turn the key into a creature. I actually do think we have to get rid of the saga here with the key still on the table. I don't think they have another island, yeah. I think I just want to turn that key off. A good card. Okay. Yeah, so I think on the draw I want the full force in. Oko is fine just because you can pitch it to both. I think I'm gonna cut show and tell. Probably an Atraxa. I don't know. Like, there are spots when show and tell just puts you over the top with a Traxa. And yeah, they could have like their jewel or what have you. But it's like you usually get the better cards than they do. But yeah, I think Oko, as soon as you have like the force, and I think Oko is better. Maybe on the draw we could even bring in Abrupt Decays to meddle with their mana. This might just be better than... I think I cannot cut all the oaths. Yeah, maybe one is plenty. I also don't think I want a third Boseiju. Yeah, Misstep you can still pitch, and they have Soul Ring, they have Key, they have Mana Vaults, they have Ancestral. They don't have infinite cards, but they have some against which it works. So I think it's good enough, but it's not like the greatest card you have. Yeah, I think this is decent. Hey there, Folded Form. Thanks for the follow. This hand's not unfair, but I think it's fine, especially against the Mulligan to 6. It's not great by any means, but I do think we have to keep it. Like, it does something. It has turned to Oko, it has force. Opponent's down to 5. Like, we just have to take care of their turn 1 ring. Or whatever. Key is fine. I don't like this, but I don't think we can counter it. Yeah. Saga is a problem here. I had a dress down in the deck at some point. Yeah, this is why I really think Saga is a card that needs to be addressed and banned at some point. I do think we have to just slam Oko here. Stem the bleeding a bit. Like this, he probably just survives a blow. I wouldn't mind the Force of Vigor now. It's probably one of the cards that get us out of this mess. Do they have a needle? They have a Graph Digger's Cage. Okay, that doesn't do a lot. Yeah, I have to counter Lotus here in order to not lose Oko. Like, they could have something else. They have like the One Ring here. It's just over. Hmm. Like, I'm not 100% sure about Oko dying here. Like, he probably will, but it fully depends on what our opponent has in store. And he still, like, prevents lots of damage here. Seiju was great, but I'm not sure if it's good enough here. Like, what are they keeping in their hand? It could be a jewel, in which case and I have to counter it, or could it be a blue card, which we... Okay, well, this is probably good for us. This one is even not attacking Oko. Okay. Let's give them blue mana now. What could possibly go wrong? At least they did tap most of their mana. Okay. If mana is all they have, we might actually just get there. I wonder. Is it just animate Mox Pearl attack for 6? Probably is. Like, maybe Force will be enough to stem the bleeding. And it somehow turns off Ancient Tomb, which is relevant for cards like Kahn, maybe. Like, they can kill Oko now. I'm gonna bash them to 2. Here comes Jewel. Only 1 ring. Oh, wait. Green. Just hope their last card is a Force of Will. Because that's probably the only card that doesn't do anything here. It's not, it's a Jewel. Ugh, it's not a Jewel. Ugh. Okay. They can untap. Yeah, you're right, actually. Okay, maybe... Yeah, maybe this was not that bad after all. I've seen worse POs, or like better ones. I have many life draws here. It's not one of them. There are two options here. I can attack them down to 3 probably, but then I just die to the construct. It's just... That's a tough spot. Yeah, like they can just pay with Vault and then untap it with Key. So it's just to 3. But maybe 3 is good enough, I don't know. 3 might be good enough against the tombs, yeah. The thing is I might stay back to block. But if they have another artifact, it's not that great. So yeah. It's probably bad either way. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter much whether they're on 1 or on 3. Yeah, they basically have. Or do they? Do they have to untap the vault? Like they could also just attack back, leave that thing locked. Like this turns off their tombs. And kinda turns on our Flusterstorm. Like if they draw a PO now, we can counter it, but it's very close. Yeah, like this doesn't matter now. It's kind of tough, right? They cannot use their tomb. Let's go, another Boseiju. Or just a Force of Vigor. Just a probe. Do we pay? That's actually tough. Tough decisions we're having here. Like if we pay the mana and we draw Force of Vigor, that's just super bad. But Force of Vigor is the only card on 4 that we could draw. On the other hand side, if we don't pay, we go to 12. If they have an artifact, they have a 2-turn clock. Decisions. How likely is it that we get the Force? It's not very likely, right? We have 3 in 45 cards. It's way more likely they get an artifact and beat us down, so I guess I'll just pay the mana then. That's somewhat interesting. What do they have? Oh, they have probe as well. Right. I guess now they're just dying to vault, right? PK would have done it as well. True. True. Whoa. Norwood was a very decent pickup here. Like now they really have to top deck something nice. Which they could, I guess, but they do have to draw it now. Like they still cannot use the tombs. Are they probing? Jewel? Jewel doesn't do much here, I guess. It could find like Tolarian Academy to untap Vault. Ooh, we won a match, and a close one that was. Wow. Here we are, let's go. Round 3. 4 is it? 4. I'm gonna keep this. It has counter magic, it has Brainstorm. What is this? Breach? Breach. Yeah, I think we get rid of Spell Pierce here. They don't have a land at all. Oh, that's a good pickup. Yeah, I think I want to play that Brainstorm. The question is, do I play it with Orchid or do I fetch? Or do I just wait for a turn? I just wait, right? I think I wait for a turn. Like if they have something I absolutely need to force, it's better, and I think I want, with this hand, I probably want the Brainstorm Shuffle. It's probably even bad to play the Mox Pearl, I think. Yeah, they mulligan down to 6. Hey there, Alberto. Thanks for the raid. Ah, well. This is not like a spot I look really good in. I could get there. Thanks for the follow, Nico. Your name's also Nico, I guess? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yeah, it was wrong to play the Pearl. Like, the Pearl would have been a perfect card to put back. Now I have to take care of that Saga. So I have 2 options to draw. I could draw into an Oko. Or I could draw into an Oath. Not even sure if I have to play the Orchid and pay the Brainstorm with it, but I think I do. Let's read what Amir is writing. He finds vintage interesting. Yeah, playing that Pearl was miserable. Like, if I find Oath now, and I don't have the counter magic for it, it's just... I'll just feel bad. And finding Strip Mine here? That's bad as well. Yes. I think we have to keep that at track some. Hey there, kid. Thanks for the follow. Yeah. But like, the sequence was okay, I think. Also because, like, if we didn't play the Orchid, we wouldn't have a shuffle. It's fine, it's just... We're under quite a bit of pressure here, but we do have some outs. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Pearl is gonna matter too much at this point. That's gonna matter though. Yeah, like we do need to find an Oath here anytime soon. I think we have to kill the Saga here, it just pressures us too much. If they don't have a play here, that's not bad. Like, this will probably find some kind of action. Oh, which is this, right? No, Jewel has not. I think it's not a great matchup against... You don't have a great matchup against Lurrus Saga, like the Bowmaster's version. I do like having Force now, but... Like, they also have 3 cards. There's not... Like, it could be Pio, they could have been... Or another Jewel. But like, if they have Pio or a Jewel, like, they have very, very many life draws. So I need to find an Oath anytime soon. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, actually I'm quite close to just casting Citadel. I think I want to hold Force mana. I somehow feel like I want the citadel on top still. Like, if I can play citadel with top on table, this is just GG. Jewel, Metamorph Kahn. Yeah, let's look at the top cards for now. Show and Tell Flash Citadel. Doesn't do much. I guess. Guess it's just better to fetch and have a look. Some fresh cards. Like, if we find an Oath here, we're good. This is not an Oath. They don't cast anything. I might just rearrange stuff. I'm not sure I want to load this now. Maybe if I find a track, so. Other than that, it's probably just better to have another force on top. Tracks. This is very interesting and very good. So I do think I need to wait for a turn and then play a Traxa with Lotus. I don't want to play Show and Tell here, really. I'm fine this way. I also have counter backup. Yeah. It doesn't really, right? Like, I've played against a version with Ponder in round 1. So that was kinda good in the mirror, but I think Ponder's not a great card against Bowmasters at the moment, but that being said, maybe you should just run it. Right, here we go. Yeah, you will be surprised how many times you will actually hardcast an Atraxa. Well, maybe like this. Actually, I think I'm gonna pick up Flash over Tutor just because it pitches so nicely. So now I think I'm going to upkeep Kill Their Workshop with Boseiju. Yeah. I should be fine with like triple counter here. And also Oko to turn their Moxen into creatures. Find Saga, no big deal. Probably just play Kahn here. Oh, Kahn doesn't even do much. Probably just play Metamorph then. Yeah. Metamorph I will counter. Like this I can hardcast my counters, which is quite good. The Jewel draws them 3 cards and it adds 3 mana. I could just Merchant Scroll for Dig Through Time now. Could also play Oko, turn their stuff into Elks. That's probably fine, because I can still hardcast Force of Negation. So you are an Elk now. Yeah, I think I'm fine here. Just countering their stuff. And making fun of their mana. Oko. Yeah, so this becomes an Elk as well. Ooh, he didn't even respawn. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Saga gets them some mana now, but I don't think they will be able to do enough to compete with Atraxa here. They can try to chain one rings, but like still have some counter magic. Yo. I actually wonder if I want to Force of Will that. Or Force of Negation. Like the point is, if they have exactly Workshop and another Metamorph, they can copy my Atraxa. Guess then they... Yeah, basically I think I'm just not gonna lose if I do it like this. It doesn't really matter, yeah. Okay, so in come the Force of Vigors, in come the Null Rods, in comes the Trap, and I think the Boseiju. What did I do? Like I added 1 Abrupt Decay as well on the draw. Those are probably too slow on the draw. last time I did something like this. Yeah, I think so. And they also pitch very well. Like, we do have 7 pitch spells, so it's like a joker that you can just throw into stuff. And we also have Flash and Merchant Scroll to get Flash, so they also hardcast very well. Yeah, that's true. That's true, as you have seen. It's also a nice Citadel hit, I think. So yeah, it's probably fine. I also really want to keep my blue count high for the counter magic. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yes. I think on the play I want Spell Pierce, but on the draw I don't think it's good enough. Okay, I wouldn't mind another blue card. Ah, this looks so good, but I don't think... I don't think this hand is nearly as good as it looks like. If they have like anything, a ring on turn 1 or something like that, this hand is absolute trash. Hey there, Simo. Thanks for the follow. I don't know, like it's... I think it's a mulligan. Like, Citadel is already a mulligan, and if we have to spend the force, the hand doesn't do anything. And if we don't have to spend the force, like... yeah. This hand, for example, is much better, I feel like. It's a strange hand, but not ideal, yeah. Sure. Ring, Mystic Forge. This is tough. Like, I could just Force of Vigor, Mana Crypt, Mystic Forge. But then I just lose to Saga, which they could very well have here. Still, if I spend Force of Will, like I'll probably just lose to any other play they have, like Kahn or a Jewel. I think we have to Force of Vigor. Like, killing the crypts isn't ideal. Another close one. I think we have to kill the tomb here. It's actually quite close, but I think... Yeah, you are not a good magic card at this point, but you are pitchable, so... Yeah, that's true. But they don't need another one with this hand, so that makes sense. Okay, this is good. Guess I don't have to play the chat just yet. So now they can go grab... Could be a blue mox, or it could be... Well, it depends on what they draw. But could also be just a soul ring to play the one ring. Yeah, it's really close, like all those calls. Also this I'm not sure about what I want to pitch. Like my odds on finding exactly a Traxa, and they also have Metamorph, so I think I just pitch that show and tell. It's a problem. Yeah, this is bad. It's probably just GG. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is just game over. I think we just needed a null rod here. But they're just running away with the game. Like null rod doesn't even win here. It has to be ancestral into like this is not winning. Even though it turns off the ring, they still have Tinker. They'll just like they can just tinker into a jewel and then copy the jewel and yeah. Let's see, on the play I do want Spell Pierce. I think it's good there. Better than DK probably. I might also just... Nah, I don't think bringing in top against or with null rod is any good. I might even cut the crypt, to be honest. I have a fluster. Like, fluster has its moments where it's decent. Maybe a third oath is also okay. Be over the third force. Yeah, let's try it like this. Yeah, I don't think we can mulligan to 5. It's not a winning line. This is... alright, I think. I think this hand just tinkers into Citadel. That's my guess. Could also Merchant Scroll for something here. Yeah, that's probably good as well. I might have to pitch it, but that's gonna be tropical, because I might want to Poseiju into Ancestral probably. Let's hope we don't have to pitch it. It would hurt. Yeah, it's Tinker time. Sure, that resolves. If they have a ring, I'll probably just let it resolve as well. Mystic Forge. I don't think we want to spend that counter on Mystic Forge. Like, Mystic Forge is very good, don't get me wrong. But I think we have to make sure that Tinker resolves. You could also get Null Rod. Like this more. Ooh, Atraxa. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now we get a Null Rod. That's perfectly fine. Getting Force. Just an island. Just draw some more cards, because why not? Did I forget about Oath? I don't want Oath, I guess. I don't want them to find a Metamorph here. That's the point. So yeah. yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, let's just discard some lands and then seal the deal next turn. I think I would have just discarded it though. So it wouldn't make big difference, but you're right. Yeah, Metamorph we don't want to resolve. Like Atraxa having lifelink works so well with Citadel. Force their own. Just pitch Atraxa here. Yeah, I think that should do it. Ooh, now we're talking. Okay, yeah. Like if you have Atraxa and Bolas Citadel, I mean, fair to say that this should be good enough, right? So those two, you can keep the Mystic Forge. Yeah, I guess I could have killed it. Like, Mystic Forge doesn't cost much here. They don't care about the free Moxen. I don't want to give them the island here. Comes to GG. Oof, got there. Yeah, Lurrus has been revealed. And we look at a hand which is not spectacular, but not bad either. Like, I don't think turn 2 Merchant Scroll, turn 3 Oko does it, so I'm gonna ship it back. This is better. I'm gonna put an Atraxa back. Play Ancestral. Hopefully they don't have Mental Misstep. They have a Force. A Force is somewhat fine. I do think I have to pitch Time Walk, probably. I don't want to touch this package. Like, if I find a Lotus, or... This is no Lotus, but... It's still fine. Like, maybe we need to get rid of Atraxa with Force here. Show and Tell into Citadel. I don't know. The Bauble. What did I pitch? Spreading Seas. They have no idea what we're playing at the moment. Could also just be Doomsday. Yeah, I'm gonna play Brainstorm in their turn. Maybe in response to Bowmasters if they choose to play them. End of turn. Strip mine, huh? What are they thinking about? Still think I'm just gonna play the Brainstorm, probably into their Bowmasters, but I don't think I can wait here. I think I need my mana here to compete. I mean, I could also wait, but I don't think my odds are getting better. Could very well be that we're locking ourselves out of the game with Brainstorm, but like if we don't find anything on top, we will not win anyway. The only thing is we could wait for one more draw, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah, knock knock. Where is he? We could have drafted. Well, we already drafted. Look at the sweet deck we have. But yeah, we could have played around with this. But I feel like rounds can take quite some time with this deck. But yeah, where's our opponent? Like, this Koran usually not the player to double queue, and also not a player to leave a vintage match. You mean draft vintage cube? Well, that's not a bad idea. You could also watch like the others play vintage cube. I think the Mox Open should be running now.
Is not drawing any more gas. You know, there's just, you can't.
Yeah, like, this looks like vintage cube, right? Wow, and two very good players facing each other there. Okay. We're back. So, yeah, let's just brainstorm here. See if our opponent has the Bowmasters. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, him not playing Doomsday is kinda strange, if you ask me. I wonder how we should play this or sequence this. we're putting back Citadel for sure, and I do think we put back Force. Because I think we really need to Van Tutor here. Still, I wonder, what do we tutor up? Like, we could just tutor up. We could tutor up Ancestral. We could tutor up Flash. We could tutor up like a Mox or a Lotus, but I don't think that gets us anywhere. Like if they have a Force of Will, they will just counter Time Vault. Okay. I think this is fine. So I don't think they would have played this if they had like a 1 mana counter, which makes me more likely to want a Flash here. They strip mine. I think in their upkeep we want to play the Flash. Because they are not, they don't have a, oh wait, if they just give us a turn here. This is bad. Yeah. Like it's still okay because we can strip mine, but them getting 2 turns, well, if Flash resolves, it's not a big deal, I think. But yeah, that was a sweet play, but I think we still have to play it like this. Like this gives us all the value, more value than they can get within 2 turns. So we do get a Traxa, it's for sure. We do get Boseiju. We do get Lotus and Oko. And Show and Tell, and then Force or Misstep. I think it's Misstep actually. Force gives us like 2 counters, Misstep gives us like a freebie against Key. Still think Force is better with like full hand we have here. Yeah, we should be fine here with double Force. And Show and Tell. And Oko. Yeah, you can have your Saga. You can have your extra turn, I guess. Yeah, I don't think they will be able to overcome like an Atraxa here. Interesting part is like what happens if they have the key? They don't have the key, right? They're trying to get the key off Saga. But yeah. I don't think they have anything to put into play. it's relevant. I have a land, yeah, so be it. So we get an emerald, force of vigor, another Oko, orchard. Yeah, they have seen enough. Like, we can just destroy their board at this point. Alright, so I do like abrupt decay against them. Don't think we need force of vigor. I do like having one null rod against them. You don't need more, but one is fine. I don't think Spell Pierce does it on the draw. Not sure if we need Fluster. Yeah, we might. Force of Negation. Not great against them. But I do like Boseiju, as they tend to have Grafdigger's Cage. So yeah, I kind of like that. It's a good plan. Like, we do have many cards that they need to counter. And they don't have much stuff that we need to take care of, so yeah. By the way, where are we? We have the worst tiebreakers, literally the worst. But this Koran is not, it's not much better. Okay, yeah, let's just win then. Maybe if we win like both rounds, we end up in top 16, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, 52 players are few too many, I think. But yeah, let's just win this round first. This is a keep, and is fine. Not great, but fine. Did I play the second Mox? I don't think so. Not just yet. Hey there, Lord. Thanks for the follow and welcome. Like, they're not... Yeah, I'll just run the DT for Ancestral, I think. Like, if they let us. Not sure if this resolves. Okay, it does. I mean, I could also go for Tinker, but if that gets countered, it'll feel way worse than when... Yeah. I think with the track, so we're kind of fine with an abundance of mana. Or is there anything else? We could also Oko. But they have Wasteland. Oko will not be easy to cast. Yeah, let's just get good old Ancestral. Also, we kind of have a mental misstep protection. The only reason to actually just play Ruby there would be Flusterstorm. Ooh, that's decent. think I might just upkeep Ancestral. Depends on what they have now. Yeah. We want. They have an Ancestral as well. Mind. Let's get a drop. Play Ancestral. Playing it on upkeep also. Ooh, that's sweet. Like the Null Rod doesn't do much here, but it's getting us deeper into the deck. It also plays around well against Bowmasters. Yeah. Null Rod with top is not like premium. At some point we can also just tinker. I think I'm gonna play Oath here. Because if that sticks, like, the next few turns are gonna be much easier to navigate. They spell Pierce. Do we care? Is the big question. Like, we could also just misstep, but I think we'll have plenty of better misstep targets, so we're just gonna let it go. Play top. DT. Yeah, gonna let that resolve. I think Null Rod is good against their deck just because they're playing like way more artifacts than we do, and it also stops their Lurrus engine, kind of. I think it's good to have one in the sideboard, but yeah, like this can easily happen. Like they play four of the 0 artifact mana. They play the full Moxen. The resolves, I guess. Now what? Treasure Cruise. Let's get rid of a track. So if they have a Spell Pierce, that would actually be insane here. To counter that with Mental Misstep. Flusterstorm. It's much more elegant. It's still fine, I guess. I wonder if, or how likely the Tinker is going to resolve here. I mean, we do need blue mana. Yeah, let's see. All right, here we go. Citadel and Divining Top, still a good combo. Yeah, let's see. Round 6. Let's go. This is a turn 1 oath. I think supposed to keep this. I have no idea what we're playing against. There are matchups against which this hand is like absurd, like wide initiative. There's like jewel shops against which this hand doesn't do anything. So let's just wait and see, I guess. We could also play Merchant Scroll though. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oath or Scroll? Oath or Scroll? Like if they have a Wasteland. No, it's gotta be Scroll. Let's pick up that Ancestral. Yeah, how about an Ancestral? Yeah, this looks like Jewel. Not winning this. Another Jewel. Pio. I'm right here. Yep, you got it. You got it. And the rods for the show and tells. 2 oaths. 1 Atraxa. And the Fluster, I do think. Yeah, I did buy, like, at the moment I have 2 decks of Vintage, but if you're trying to get into Vintage, it's probably just easier to rent them. Like, try out a few decks and see with which one you're comfortable with. Like, the good thing about Vintage is once you do have a deck, you don't have to change it very often, because, like, in Vintage, not much is changing for quite some time. Like, you can stick to a deck you really start to like. I think the minimum, like at the moment it's cheaper than it used to be. Like you can get a dredge deck for probably 200 tickets, but I do think that goldfish is a good resource. Like, you can go to the vintage metagame, then switch to MTGO, and then you see how much the decks are worth. But as you can see, like, you can buy a good dredge list for like roughly $200. It's probably the cheapest one. Yeah. Other decks are more like in the 400, 500, 600 ticks range. But if you're fine starting out with dredge, this is fine. I did have an abrupt decay on the draw. On the play, I might just not need it. Maybe I do want to. I want a third force on the play. Do I need it? I might. I might play it over the islands. Actually. Yeah, like they're not attacking my mana, so yeah, it is a lot of money. It's true. Like, this hand has null rod. Does this make it good enough to keep? I think it does. On the play, at least. I can also have Flusterstorm, even though that doesn't do a lot unless I draw a Mox. If I draw a Mox, I can null rod with Flusterstorm protection, which is kinda good. Yeah, I'm gonna just right away fluster that. Not giving them additional info. Okay. Okay. Let's see if this sticks. They're pondering. Sure about what, but they are pondering. Like, if they have Ancient Tomb here, might just let it resolve, but okay, they don't let it resolve. That's still fine. They probably just have the Ancient Tomb here, right? Yeah. Passing the turn, so I think I'll go grab Ancestral. Do I play it right away? I could also do so in their upkeep. Maybe that's better, then that's one less damage. Yeah, I think at this point, Kokomo, the second one of the instant doesn't do much, and you're not gonna run. Okay, that's actually not bad. You're not gonna run many creatures in this deck, probably. And yeah, like the Hydra is just an insane rare. No green force here. But at least some other force. I wonder what I should DT for. Maybe an Oath? Yeah. I'll probably pitch Oko with, or no, I'll probably just pitch Atraxa with the first force. And Oko with the second. I think getting an Oath is probably the safest bet here. Getting a flash to play Atraxa would also be fine, but I think Oath gives us the most value. Okay, is that a jewel waiting for us? It's a ring. Yeah, let's just go ahead and counter that. They probably hold a Force of Will on their own. Hardcast it. Which then I will just force back. Okay, this just resolves. Mystic Forge. I'm gonna try and counter that. It works. What do we draw? Force. Like, I could also just go ahead and get Strip Mine to kill their workshop to buy some more time, but I'm not sure this gets us anywhere we want to be. I think DT for Oath is just way better. Yeah, this is fine. If they have Jewel, that sucks, but yeah. Like, they could just easily brick. They need like Time Walk, and some more action. Yeah, Time Walk is already a big deal. If they have something else to follow that up, we're probably just done. Not a Jewel. Yeah, the full Monty. Yeah. Like, there's many cards we don't care much about, but they're gonna find their metamorphs and stuff at some point. And when they do, this game is over. They could also just brick, but PO? Oh, that's not PO. It is PO. I don't think they're gonna brick now. Yeah, that's the problem with combo decks. Yeah, I think we're just toast here. We got close and probably we were just good enough to make top 32, I hope. Yeah, we probably are. But yeah, 3-3, not where we are, not where we want to be. Is that another PO? Jewel. Yeah, at this point it's almost impossible for them to brick. Or say never, but yeah, like their creatures are also just good enough to kill us. So yeah, that does it. GG's. 3-3, not bad, not great. I feel like the deck was good, but we got vintaged a few times. It happens. Well, thank you so much for watching. See you next time, and bye bye.